Chase Young is glad to be around winners. Welcome back to another video here on the Washington Football Maniacs YouTube channel. My name is Greg Sykes, and if you're new here, thank you for joining us. This channel is dedicated to the Washington Commanders, and if you enjoy that, then please consider subscribing. When you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss another video release. With that said, let's get into today's video. So, Chase Young in his introductory press conference said that he was glad to be in a locker room filled with winners. As opposed to, I guess, the losers that were in the locker room of the Washington Commanders. And that's how that fans will probably take what Chase Young said. But, is he wrong? I mean, you look at the San Francisco 49ers. Recently, they have been in the Super Bowl. They have been playing in championship games. They have been in the playoffs. They have had winning records. So what Chase Young said is not wrong. He is surrounded by winners. Is it a little bit of a, jab toward his old teammates? I don't think it's a jab toward his old teammates. It may be a little jab toward his own team as a whole, the franchise. He did mention the coaches as well. What can you do? I mean, maybe I would probably react the same way. I mean, you got to think, this is the business, and they got to understand that it is a business. But, at the same time, hey, I mean, if you got to react as if, hey, guess what is the business? I'm going to move on and play football and not worry about it. Then why should his old teammates and his old coaches and all that worry about what he says as well? Chase Young is having a fresh new start in DC or in San Francisco. And, I wish him well. I mean, I know that a lot of fans after that press conference will be like, I don't wish him well, that he fails. Well, yeah, I mean, come on. He said what he said, but I mean, maybe it's a little dig toward his old team, but number one, he's young. I mean, literally, he's Chase Young. You got to understand that. I mean, I kind of see it. I kind of see it. I probably would, at his age, I probably would have said similar things if I was in the same situation. I think overall, I think how he meant it was that he's ready to be in, a brand new situation. And, that's okay. Wish him well. We will see Chase Young. I think, was it December 17th when the Commanders play the 49ers? So we will see him. We will see how well he fars against our offensive line, probably pretty well. What can I say? I mean, a lot of people were up in arms, and I kept seeing the same video over and over again on X with Chase Young talking about, the locker room and the winners and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times fans are going to find anything to, take it personally. And, you just got to let it roll over because, a lot of us love Chase Young. Yeah, I love Chase Young. I wanted him to stay in Washington. I wanted Montez Sweat to stay in Washington. I really did. But, you know, at the end of the day, ultimately, I want what's best for the franchise. And it's kind of like, if you go back, way back, this is going to be before a lot of people's times that probably watches this channel. But if you go back to the late 80s, and this was a mega move, when Tony Dorsett got traded. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Tony Dorsett. It was Herschel Walker for the Dallas Cowboys. When he got traded, that trade was very significant for the Dallas Cowboys because, in a sense, it pretty much allowed the Cowboys to rebuild into the Super Bowl dynasty that they became in the 90s. And so I'm not saying that that's going to necessarily happen. I hope it does in Washington with the trades of Montez Sweat and Chase Young. But sometimes you have to trade away great players like that, knowing that, you know, it's a little too much, I guess you would say. You could be a little too rich in certain areas and a little too poor in other areas. And you want to build a solid foundation everywhere. And that's ultimately what Josh Harris wants to do with his team. And that's ultimately what I hope that he accomplishes. So for Chase Young, I wish him well and hope that he does well. I hope he stays healthy. And same for Montez Sweat as well. Folks, if you enjoy this video, please give it a like, give it a share, leave me a comment. Again, if you're enjoying this channel, please give me a subscribe. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.